Hello and welcome back to the vlog, guys, where today you are for some reason gonna be welcomed with a slow-mo video. I accidentally took a slow-mo shot here, so for this tee shot you get to see a slow-mo driver swing. But yeah, we're back at KLGCC's West Course. We're gonna be doing a 9-hole course vlog, and the topic of today's video is playing and swinging with intention. So let me know what you guys think this even means in the comments down below before we get started. And let's get started. We've got a par 4 here. The intention for this swing is to be hitting a little bit of a fade and a little bit of a lower ball flight because it is also into the wind. So after the tee shot, we're left with 151 yards. I'm going with a 7-iron here. It is a front pin, so it's all carry, so we need to make sure that we get it up to pin high. So let's immediately start with what I mean by intention, and that is very similar to basically making sure that you have a plan before you hit a shot. Having an intention before you hit a shot gives you clarity of mind, and I think a lot of times people don't actually think about what their intention is for the shot. A lot of times we don't know what kind of shot shape we're trying to hit, what kind of trajectory we're trying to hit, or even sometimes what our target is. And without these things in mind, we are never going to be able to pull off a good shot because we don't have clarity. Now, some of y'all might be thinking, what is the importance of having clarity and how does that affect our shot? Well, the amazing thing about the human brain, especially if you're somebody who obviously already plays golf, is that if you do not have clarity in mind, it is very easy for your body to be influenced by your brain. So if you think about it in a different way, for instance, on this shot right here, I have a difficult shot. The ball is sitting pretty deep in the rough. I know that I'm hitting a 7-iron to a back pin just to give myself a little bit of room for a run out, but I know that it's not going to be an easy shot anyway. But having that intention, I know that I'm hitting a club that technically it's only supposed to go a little bit shorter out of that rough because it is pretty heavy rough, and I know that there's a likely chance that I might still end up over the green. But because I know all these factors, I'm very easily able to commit to the shot that I've chosen, and whatever the consequences, that is the consequence of my decision. So if you're unsure about the shot that you're going to hit, if you're unsure about the club that you're going to hit, it is very likely that your body cannot execute the shot that you have in mind. Putting skills aside, because I think that you are usually quite realistic in what you're able to achieve in terms of your golf skills, but if you don't have clarity in mind, your body cannot achieve what your mind wants to achieve because it doesn't even know what it wants to achieve. So it's very important to have a clear idea of what you're trying to do before you do it so that you're able to execute it to the best of your ability. So what exactly is intention, and how do you have intention before you hit your shot? So let's see this situation here. It's a par 5. I'm not going to get to the green. It's 220 yards to reach that right bunker. I have a 3-wood here. As you can see, I'm gripping it down quite a bit because the ball is quite a bit above my feet, which is going to lead it a little bit towards the left, meaning that it's going to have a little bit of a draw. So with that shot, it is pretty simple. I know that with a 3-wood, I'm just basically knocking it down. But other than the club and the situation around you, of course, you need to have situational awareness about what are the obstacles that you might be facing. But other than that, you also need to have clarity in terms of what you're trying to do, So what that means is, okay, for instance here, I know that I'm hitting a 54 degree wedge. I've got a 96-yard shot. A 54 degree wedge is not going to have too much shape to it, so I'm going to pretty much expect to hit a pretty straight to a little baby draw of a shot just because that is my natural shot shape. So in my mind, several important intentions are, for that shot that I just hit was 54 degree wedge, a full swing, 90-yard carry, straight to baby draw, and the target that I had in mind. So I think another thing that's important is a lot of people don't actually think about the shot shape that they want to hit before they hit it. And why this is important is because if you do not think about the factor of your shot shape, you are kind of thinking about hitting a straight shot. Hitting a straight shot is so much more difficult than hitting a draw or a fade, because hitting a straight shot is basically like hitting a perfect shot in golf. Everybody usually has some kind of shot shape preference. So if you play to your shot shape preference, it's going to allow you to swing more freely because that is your natural shot shape and you're not trying to hit a perfect shot. You're trying to accommodate for whatever shot shape you have, and you're accommodating for the misses as well. And this is also going to give you a lot of freedom to swing and to know the shot shape that you want to hit. And this is also going to help you visualize the shot that you want to hit. So these are all things that can be included in your intention that gives you that clarity of mind that I was speaking about before. A lot of times, a lack of clarity and a lack of intention goes hand in hand with hitting a bad shot. Over that tee shot, I really wasn't sure where the wind direction was blowing. There was a guy walking behind a pin. I don't know if you could see that. I was distracted by so many things that I had no idea what I was doing over that tee shot, and I ended up making what should have been a really regular pitching wedge into a difficult scramble for par. So a lot of times this can show in quote-unquote bad course management, wrong club selection, wrong target choice. A lot of things come down to a lack of intention, lack of focus, lack of clarity. So I hope this is starting to make a little bit more sense now. And this is also something that you can do with yourself. You can make it into a mental game. So let's see how we can do that starting from the next hole. So an easy way to make this into a quick mental game that you can literally do during your round is just to keep a checklist of things that you need to be able to have in your mind before you walk up to the ball. So that includes making sure whatever club you have in your hand is a good club for you, and whatever you've decided to use, that's what you're going to stick to. You're not going to double guess yourself. If you're second guessing, it means that it's an X on that mental scorecard. So over here, that's 3 wood for me. It means knowing what kind of shot shape you're going to hit, whether there's a draw or a fade. If there's a wind factor, of course, considering the wind factor. If there are obstacles out there, considering those obstacles out there. And finally, of course, making sure you have a target. So over here, second shot, I'm just laying up. There's a water hazard before the green. It's about 235 to reach the green, so I wasn't going to take the risk. So as you can see, my caddy is pretty far up there, but I actually took the wrong club here. I only got a 7 and a 6 iron. It's about 165 to reach the water hazard, so I actually only need an 8 iron. But I know that with a knockdown 7, it is pretty wet conditions as well. I know the ball's not going to run out. So I know that with a knockdown 7, this can still be the club. So based off that, 7 iron is going to be fine. The shot shape's going to be a bit of a lower draw just because I'm hitting a knockdown, so it's not going to carry as much. The only other factor is wind, which I've already accounted for. The only obstacle is hitting it too far into the water hazard. And finally, of course, choosing a target based on those observations. So reason why the target is always the last is because the target correlates to all the information that you've just given yourself. Based off that, then you can choose a good target. So if you're first starting out, you might be thinking this is a lot of things to keep track of, but honestly, as you play the game, as you kind of know what you need to look out for, it will honestly become second nature to you guys, and you'll be doing it naturally, and you'll be surprised because you might actually be even faster because now you've got a clear idea of what you need to decide, what you need to do before you hit your shot, and that's just going to make it a lot easier for you to pull the trigger. So, of course, realistically, does that mean that you're gonna hit good shots all around just because you start doing this? Of course not. You're still gonna hit bad shots, you're still gonna hit misses, but you would have known that you had done everything that you could before if you stick to those 5 mental checkpoints. And if you don't, think about what you missed and what caused you to hit that bad shot. Was it a wrong club selection? Was it a wrong type of shot shape? Did you not account for the wind? Etc. etc. And then you can also start picking out certain things that you probably have a tendency to do, which causes you to have a lot of misses. So these are also where you can start spotting trends that is going to help you improve your game, because then you're going to know which areas you need to improve. So you might be thinking, how do you do this in putting and short game? It's very similar. In terms of putting, the first thing you're going to be thinking about is the speed. What kind of speed do you need to take? Because this determines the line that you're going to take. Of course, you can also consider other factors, such as if the wind is very strong, going to be affecting you, how the wind's going to affect you, and that's going to affect the line as well. And maybe other factors such as if there's water on the green, if there's dew on the green, because this might also affect the way that the ball rolls. And similar to how the target is the last thing that you choose when you hit a shot, the point of which you roll the ball over, or the line that you're going to use, is also going to be determined by all the factors above. So that is also going to be the last thing that you decide. So I hope that all this is starting to make sense and what I mean by intention, and hopefully it's something that you guys can start implementing in your game, and hopefully it will start helping you guys make good decisions, have good intentions before you hit the shots, and hopefully results in better golf. So if you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them down below and I'll try to answer as many as I can. If not, thank you guys so much for watching this video and for catching another episode of Golf with Jen, and be sure to catch you in the next one. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more Golf with Jen.